There's been a lot of talk surrounding Spectre and Meltdown, the names given to vulnerabilities that affect practically every processor made in the past 2 decades. Without taking a deep dive into the technical details, the short of it is that they could allow an attacker to pluck what was previously considered protected data from your CPU's cache. This includes passwords, encryption keys, and other sensitive information. Trust us, you don't want this information getting out to the wrong hands. Security researchers from Google's Project Zero team discovered the vulnerabilities in 2017 and disclosed them to the public in early 2018. Unfortunately, there is no quick fix, as Spectre and Meltdown are part of the fundamental design of most processors. In effect, this means that your PC is most likely affected. The good news is that there are no known exploits in the wild based on Spectre and Meltdown. However, at least 2 cybersecurity firms have identified proof of concept samples based on these vulnerabilities. Nevertheless, it's a safe bet that attackers will eventually attempt to leverage Spectre and Meltdown. In the meantime, there are some things you can do to protect yourself. The biggest one is to make sure your operating system has the latest updates. Microsoft is pretty aggressive about doling out automatic updates to Windows, so most users can sit back and let the OS patch itself. If you want to be proactive, however, manually check for updates to make sure you're fully patched. The same goes for Linux, Chrome OS, and Mac OS. Spectre and Meltdown affect all operating systems, not just Windows. You should also make sure your internet browsers are all up to date. Google recently updated its Chrome browser to version 64, and it incorporates patches to protect against Spectre and Meltdown. To make sure you're running the latest build, click on the 3 vertical dots in the upper right corner and go to Help and then About Google Chrome. This will tell you what version you're running and initiate an update if there is one. In Chrome 63 and later, there's also an experimental feature called Site Isolation that is disabled by default. Turning it on offers additional protection against certain types of web attacks based on Meltdown and Spectre, though it increases Chrome's memory usage by around 10 to 20%. If you're okay with that, you can turn the feature on by typing in this address into the URL bar. Then scroll down to Strict Site Isolation and press the Enable button. Another way is to type this address into the URL bar. There are no special flags in Firefox, Edge, Opera, or Safari. However, you should make sure you're running the latest version of each. In Firefox, open up the menu and navigate to Help. Then About Firefox. Updating Opera is similar. Click on the menu and select About Opera. Both Edge and Safari are updated by their respective OSs, Windows and Mac OS. One other thing you can do is check for BIOS updates for your motherboard. Several motherboard vendors have begun releasing updated firmware specifically to protect against Spectre and Meltdown. You can check for new BIOS releases by going to your motherboard's manufacturer's website and either looking up your motherboard model or navigate to the support section. Given that this is all rather new, it's a good idea to do some research before applying a BIOS update. Specifically, you'll also want to see if other users have reported any problems with the new BIOS, if one is available. Also, you should only attempt this if you are comfortable updating BIOSes. Beyond staying up to date, standard safe computing practices apply. Avoid shadier sides of the web, be wary of clicking on shady links in emails and instant messages, and keep your antivirus software turned on. For complete step-by-step instructions, head on over to the article on GameSpot.com. Thanks for watching.